Absolutely. Thanks, Boris, for the introduction, and welcome everybody to our digital version of the Experience Day. Today, I want to give you a practical look into the way how customers can use our technology to implement an intelligent workplace and how this could help. How can we combine traditional elements of idle-based processes and modern management, modern things like the chatbot technology or artificial intelligence. So when we look today on an intelligent workplace, we also see one topic, and this is that more and more IT departments needs to get IT into a balance. And we see this especially because there are a lot of new requirements coming to the different departments. New technology. A special topic for us is also employee experience. So when we look today on the employees, for many employees, the quality of IT and the IT department behind that is also a reason to join a company or to choose another employer. So employee experience is a brand new requirement, also new work style. We see this actually, because actually the majority of us are sitting at home offices. So within several days and weeks, IT department was required to provide technology to work from home in the same productivity level as it was before in the office. And last but not least, war of talents is a big thing. The employer with a good employee experience, with modern IT, with probably sometimes also cool tools, wins the candidate, and the other one not. Another challenge where IT departments need to get everything in balance is new technology. When I started with IT, having his own device was really a special thing. Today, we are running in the situation that every employee owns multiple devices, and more the data become just relevant on the devices, and not so much the devices you're processing the data. So we see with new technology, we see more devices, more applications, and we see also that the IT departments become more agile. And what does it mean? It means especially that groups, cross-functional groups in an IT department from an expert team at the customer side works together to deliver a single service end to end. And so operational processes needs to be provided as well. And last but not least, we see a lot of new risks in the world. And it's not really the question if you ever will become attacked. It's only the question, when will you become attacked? So this means every IT department needs to become employee experience in balance with data privacy needs, with compliance needs, and with the requirement save their customers before cyber attacks. So this is it's a huge stretch, and we want to follow this with our Matrix paradigm. So what we do in our paradigm is we give you solutions which are integrated instead of silo integrations. So this means you can use our solutions, our best of breed solutions, together with other technologies you have in your company, like Microsoft Teams, like the Fox from Firescope, for instance, where we have Ken today in an extra session, or also other areas like integrating the latest and greatest Google Chrome OS and so on. So we follow the paradigm working on integrated solutions instead of silos. And we want to give you a freedom of choice instead of limitations. This means there is technology in the market, for instance, managing mobile devices you want to have out of the cloud, because the mobile devices are just in the cloud every day. They're using their LTE or 5G service operator contract, and they are just running in the cloud. So it just makes sense to run a mobile management system in the cloud. Potentially, you have your software deployment for your Windows-based laptops, for instance, or your agent-based deployment, or even your servers. you want to run on premise. And so we give you a unified platform where you have the choice which engine, which worker is running where, in the cloud, on premise, mix, based on the subscription or perpetual license. And the most important thing for us is we want to give your customers, this means your users, an experience instead of the emotion of control. So especially when you work with the younger generations, they expect, for instance, a shopping kind experience of when getting new IT stuff or other areas, for instance, from our service catalog. Following this Matrix paradigm, we are able to implement a digital workspace. And when we look a little bit deeper into the digital workspace, we see that a digital workspace today is more like a human body. You have the head, and in the head, we see a lot of activities running in the brain. For instance, the whole workspace intelligence, the process automation, the compliance topics, but also a lot of insights information, security information, and software asset management. Everything what needs analytic information, support of artificial intelligence and machine learning. And then on the other side, a part of our platform is that what brings the muscles in the field. And this is the idea of the body. Our unified endpoint management takes care of executing all the hard work in the field, in the environment. And currently the environment is distributed more than ever. Because when you manage 1,000 laptops, for instance, probably you manage 1,000 distributed offices indirectly with a system like our unified endpoint management system. When we are distributed, data security becomes very, very important, because distributed offices, distributed people means also data is distributed on thousands of devices, stored in the cloud, stored on premise, and this must be secured. So our Ego Secure data protection solution takes care about the data security and prevents data leakage. And last but not least, when you execute and when you automate and digitalize workflows or business processes, then you want to execute workflows, and these workflows will be executed, for instance, from our workflow platform, which is the heart and soul of the whole automation process. So what we see with this components, what we want to give to you, is that we can't separate the head and the body. And to be a really digital workspace, it must be unified to be intuitive and secure. So only that makes it useful and positive for your customers. This means your end users. And to give you a practical view on that, we prepared a small demo we want to show to you. So how does an end user feels and experience his first day in a company when he joins on his first day? And by the way, this process we show right now works very well in this time, because it's fully digital and it's fully executable remotely as well. So you don't need to be in the office to execute this with our tools. Let's have a look in the modern workspace in action. And let's give a couple of people the stage who are joining our little demo company. So the first one is Fabian, and some of you probably knows Fabian, but in this new role, he gets the responsibility for the cloud and the cloud operations and cloud expenses of our company. And this is very important because cloud expenses are growing over time, especially because many companies has the strategy to move into software-defined data centers backed by the big hyperscalers like Amazon or Microsoft Azure. And we have Horst, and a couple of you know Horst probably as well, but in this role, Horst is Fabian's new manager. And the typical thing of a new manager is they are physical or now more virtually constantly on the road and sometimes not touchable. And nevertheless, we want to ensure that Horst can quickly and efficiently approve required tools for Fabian so that Fabian can work very soon and directly on his primary task. And this is optimizing the cloud costs. And this could take effect instantly. And there's someone new, a new kid on the block, and we call them Marvin because Marvin is our AI-controlled bot who automates, for instance, approval processes and especially communicates proactively with all the colleagues in the organization. This means also he's able to prevent uncontrolled data leakage, and that's what we see in a couple seconds, how Marvin helps you, AI controlled, to optimize business processes and secure the data. Last but not least, we have Sebastian. Sebastian is our IT help desk guy, and he is linked with Microsoft Teams to the organization and is able to help when Marvin is not able to help anymore to solve a couple of problems Fabian or Horst has probably. And let's start with the first contact. In the first contact, we see shortly how Fabian starts his experience. So in this little demo, we see that Fabian joins the company and switches the enterprise service management portal and is forced to manage the expenses, the cloud expenses for the new cloud. As Fabian does not have access to the licenses, he just asks Marvin, in our case, for support, and he speaks naturally to Marvin and asks him, "Hey, I need support. I need to access to cloud expense management." Marvin understands this and identifies the right service out of our service catalog and offers him the provisioning. Marvin communicates proactively that this must be approved, and Horst is the manager, and you see in the little screen here that Horst can actively approve it very soon. We gave him a little Apple Watch app. But Horst needs a couple more information because behind the order, he wants to see all the details. And so he switches to his mobile app and approves the order. What happens now is that Marvin understands this directly and proactively communicates to Fabian again and gives him the information, "Hey, your service is approved and I provisioned it," and he gives a direct access to the service so that Fabian does not need to learn newly where the service is hosted, what is the URL. So Marvin gives him directly the link or the option to launch the service out of the box. So with that, Fabian is able to start his job and taking care of the cloud expenses. The cloud expenses is the next thing Fabian wants to work with. And let's have a look how Fabian takes care about cloud expenses in the organization. So Fabian got the new application. He jumps directly in the overview, and the Matrix42 Cloud Expense Management gives you a historical view also on the data and the costs which are happening. The timeline view is very important there because their expense manager can see very soon if a trend is more negative or positive. Fabian is able here to understand deeply how, for instance, the colleagues from the Netherlands region are using the costs and would identify a couple cost drivers. As Fabian is pretty new in the company, he thinks about, "I'm not the expert now in the cost, so I would like to send over this information directly to my manager, to Horst, to ask him for assistance." And what happens in a modern world when someone wants to exchange information directly with some other one, he is using a chat system like Microsoft Teams. Let's have a look in the last session how we ensure that the system becomes also secure when we work with that. For that, I switch my voice control a bit so that you can hear also the dialogue we have in a couple seconds. Let's start the favorite now out together. Where is team point and sending so that we can look into the just by the way working his here so the brown is the usual
Jörg?
see
We have an issue hearing you.
so that so then I switch back. So probably I do explain then the dialogue later on.
Yeah.
So it's better, I guess, right? So host gets this error message, and this error message comes up because at the end of the day, our security solution in the background encrypted the data and ensured that no data can be leaked. So as host does not know what to do, he is asking Marvin, and someone explained him, just talk to your chatbot. And host talks now with the chatbot and tries to get a solution for his encryption problem. In this second, Horst just goes through a dialogue module and tries to reach a true person. And this happens now. Marvin connects Horst directly with Sebastian, our support agent, and they negotiate together what happens now. As you can't hear it, I want to explain it a bit. Horst is asking Sebastian currently how can he access to encrypted files from a private MacBook. And Sebastian gives him now the information how to join our Bring Your Own Device program and joining his Mac shortly into the management environment so that he can access to a container application which allows him to access the encrypted data in a controlled way. And this happens now. Sebastian, as the support analyst, pastes him directly the solution into this chat. Horst follows just the information, joins his personal Mac to the enrollment and to the Bring Your Own Device program, and becomes the capability to access to the data. So this takes just a couple seconds. He needs to follow the procedures. His Mac becomes now also installed the required encryption keys in a managed way. You see this here, and even the container application, which is required to access to the different data, is now available within seconds, and host can work with the data which is exchanged through the Teams chat. And that's also important to understand. Security in the world of Microsoft Teams and other chat solutions must include the new channel, which is called a chat, because sometimes you can have chat also with other people from other companies. So an IT organization must prevent data leakage directly also in this kind of modules. And with that, let's have a short cross-check what we achieved. So the first goal was for us, Fabian should become responsible for our cloud expense management to leverage savings. So this happened, and Fabian was able to do this within minutes in the organization. His new manager Horst should be able to approve the required tools as soon as possible, instantly, without any problems, even when he is on the road or in the home office. So we achieved this and made it very attractive through an Apple Watch app and a mobile app on the iOS or on Android. And Marvin, the new kid on the block, was the guy who communicated between both parties and proactively inform Fabian that his service is available and gave him directly access to the service without expecting from him deep knowledge about the service. And last but not least, Sebastian became the part of a fully integrated chat-based, voice-based solution on Microsoft Teams, which becomes part now of your service desk. And this makes, at the end of the day, a traditional voice system in your organization totally obsolete. Because when you're running on Microsoft Teams, the majority of voice communication, it's just a natural step to go into the direction to bring in also your IT support on Microsoft Teams, starting from chat with a bot, over chat from human to human, to a voice connection from human to human. I would like to invite you to try it out. So our Marvin Virtual Support Agent is directly available through our marketplace, so you can just try it out. Even the apps you saw, the Approvals app, the Apple Watch app, all the apps for Android are available in the app stores from Google and Apple. And our cloud expense management is also available through the marketplace. So just try it out based on our unified platform. And last but not least, we are looking also for companies who are focusing on bringing voice support for Office 365 in the IT management processes. And we invite you also to join us and bring this feature forward together with us. From the mobile app perspective, we do not only do an approval app. We have also the mobile version of our Marvin Support Agent, but we have also Documents app to bring the container app you saw on the desktop, even on the mobile device as well, so that it's really and truly independent where which devices your workforce is working to. If you want to get more, following me, Klaus Ziegerhöfer is giving you a deep insight into our AI and chatbot solution you saw shortly in the video, so we get more and more details. And Thorsten Moch gives you details about our cloud expense management and how you can take care about the hyperscalers of this world when it comes to cost management. So with that, you get you saw our unified management platform in action. As I said, we are focusing the paradigm integrated instead silo. So this is also meant for our platform. You can use our platform integratedly, and you can add to this platform other existing solutions you have in your environment today, because we also want to respect your investments you did in your IT department right now.